All right. So if you can see, the time is at 9:11 in the morning, right? So normally when I first sit down on the computer to mark up my charts, as long as it's before 9:30, that very first candle on the daily chart is your overnight high and your overnight low. Okay. And it is good up until 9:30. So as long as it doesn't change, you could keep those same settings in there. So that's the first thing that I mark off. So I normally put red for the high and I put green for the low, because that reminds me, if it's going down to the green level, I'm gonna buy it. If it's going to go up to the red level, I'm gonna sell it. So that's the very first thing that I mark off every morning is the overnight high and the overnight low. And you could do that all from the daily chart, that very first candlestick. It'll show you the high and low. If you have a mouse, you could click the little button in the middle of the mouse and it will give you all the data information for that candle. Or you could go to the top up here and you could click show data box. And the data box will show you all the information to every candle that you hover over. So you hover over that first candle, it will show you the open, the high, the low, and the close. So when you're marking your overnight high and your overnight low, you want to include the wick. So don't just use the open and the close. You want to use the high and the low. So the high of that one, that candle is 832.25. So you double click on there. It says 8.823? It says 833. But the high was 832. So you go 83, you change that to a 2. 2.25. I just changed the last setting because that was the only thing that needed to be changed. And that way you're right there at the highest point it was. Same thing with the low. You can see the low is 705.75. So you double click the green line. And right here, it should be 705. So 705.75. So was off a little bit. Well, it looked like a lot of it. Okay, I was on the wrong candle. That's why. The low is, okay, 21.11.66. Oh, why is the low different now? Okay. Oh, 21. Oh, there it is. 21.669. Okay, 21.669. Okay, okay, 2669. There it is. 0.5. So 21.669.5. I don't know what number I was looking at. All right, so that's how you mark off the overnight high and overnight low. You can use a data box, hover over it, and it will show you the high and the low. And that's what you want to type in, those exact numbers. That way you know you're right at that same point. All right. A lot of times on the daily chart is not really a lot of levels, because I mean it's a daily chart. Each one is a day, so it's usually not a lot of levels on there. Hold on one second. All right. All right, so on here, once again, this is a daily chart. On the daily chart, the overnight high and overnight low is the most important part, because if you're looking for like a triple threat, if you're looking for a gap, is usually not that many on the daily because it's so large. But I still look at it. You can look left, and you'll still see like right here is 3 candles. That's a triple threat. So I have it marked. It might not ever come up here for a couple months from now, but I still have it marked just in case it does come up here. I already have it marked. Like I could turn this one off because this was an old level. I could delete that one, but I still mark the overnight high and overnight low, and I still mark anything on here that I see. So right here, here's a triple threat, is 3 or more. But if you hover right over it, you can see the line where it was already touched. So this one right here, both of these already touched that triple threat, so I don't use it anymore. Because every time it gets touched, it gets weaker and weaker. Not saying it won't work a fourth time, but because it's already been touched 2 to 3 times, I wouldn't trust it a fourth time. So that's what I mean by watch and see if the levels have been touched already, because every time they're touched, it makes it weaker and weaker every time.
It is, but it ain't no good because of all these here.
Right? Okay. So you can look at areas above and you can look at areas below where the current market is. So right here, this current candle, you want to see anything above it that stands out, and you want to look anything below it that stands out. I don't see any triple threats below it. If it is, they're way back here somewhere. Look, it's a triple threat way back here that I have marked. So that's why I have that white line right there, because it hasn't been touched yet. So if the market comes down here, is a potential to bounce back up. And if the market comes all the way up here, is a potential to bounce back down because they haven't been touched yet. But all this stuff in the middle has already been touched back and forth. So once I mark that off, then I go down to the 4-hour level. And I literally do that every level. So on the 4-hour level, as you see, we got a couple things going on.
The white line.
I thought this was close to a triple threat, but it wasn't because you have that green one in the middle. So a triple threat is 3 or more in the same direction, same color. But that one green one stopped that little trend to the downside. But I got one right here. I got 3 or more going up. I'll put a brown line right there, the beginning of the line. So a triple threat is the open of the candle. All right, so you hover over it, you can see O for open, or you could go to the top and open up your data box. And when you hover over it, it'll say open was at 46325. So when you're marking off the triple threat, that's 3 or more of the same color, you want to mark the open, not the wick. Do not mark the wick. Mark the open. So that's how you test the triple threat. Now, on a little extra information that's not in the course, you probably hear people, if you watch people online, you hear them talk about zones and stuff like that. So even with the triple threat, even though you mark the open, which is a good area to buy the market if it comes down here, you can also zone the wick, right? So how you zone the wick, you go to drawing tools, region, highlight Y, and you can literally put a zone. I think this is getting in the way. Let me close that off. You go to drawing tools, region, highlight, and you could zone off that whole wick. You can zone off that whole wick, and you'll be able to see that on all your charts. See that? So it's a zone. Even though I trust that it bounces right here at the open, as you get further into your trading, you might see that it might dip a little bit further past that area. So if it bounces off the top of it, you make money, good. But the next time it comes down, it might go a little bit farther into it. You could take another bounce off of, you could take a bounce off the bottom of it, the 50% Fibonacci of it, but as a beginner, I tell you how to take a bounce off the very top of it. But as you get better with your trading, you could take a trade off the 50% or the bottom of that whole wick. All I did was mark off that one wick of the triple threat.
Get your shit and go down.
Yeah, make
Your shit. It's your
Yeah,
shit.
because that's still what a wick
you
tells you that there's a lot of buyers still down there.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Let me see you manage this shit without me.
Hey, we got a hot mic.
My bad, yo.
So that's the thing. When you read a candlestick, the wick tells you that there's still a lot of buyers down there. When you see a wick at the bottom, that means there's still a lot of buyers down there. That's why the candlestick didn't go all the way down and is not all green. It went down there, it tested out, and the buyers pushed it back up. So that's what those wicks tell you. So it can still dip down there a little bit and still get pushed back up. But every time it dips past that wick, it's getting weaker and weaker every time. So even though it bounces off the open, it's weaker the next time it comes down there. So it might go a little bit through it, comes back up. Now it's even more weak until it eventually goes straight through it. So, you know, as you get further in your trading journey, you don't have to just take that one bounce right there at the open. You can get a second time. Just know it might go a little bit further next time. So, you know, just more trades for you. Because I know there's times where you're like, well, I don't see no trades. There's trades inside of trades. All right, so I mark off those. This is the 4-hour chart. So I will mark off all my little areas. As I said, I zoned that off because it has a nice size wick. And you see the bottom of that wick is a swing low. Those little dotted lines, that's a swing low. So as I said, you can catch a bounce off the top, you can catch a bounce off the 50%, and you can catch a bounce off the bottom because not only is that the bottom of the wick, but it also happens to be a swing low that popped up on the 4-hour, makes it very strong. So that's actually 3 trades you could take off that one candle if the market comes back down there. Because remember, the market's still all the way up here. But you know, you can have news will drop it down there, and then it'll bring it down low enough to where it gets to another one of your levels. So news is not always bad. News is just a way to push the market to a certain level that will help you make more money later on. All right.
But we can't trade news, right?
No, do not trade
on
news.
the PA.
You can do you can trade the news on your eval. I don't recommend it, but you can. Let's see. All right, so that's the triple threat. That's the only one I see there. And the reason why we load 100 days is because sometimes you have to look left to see something else. You know, I didn't really see too much on the 4-hour besides this one drop right here. It was a gap right here, but the gap was kind of touched already right here. The overnight low is the top of this little gap right here. So it kind of bounced off it already. So you could have made money pre-market if you mark that gap off. So I'll show you so you can see where the gap is. This is the gap from here. There's A, B, and then C. A and C did not touch. The wick does not intersect. So that's a gap right there in the market. If you go down to the 5-minute chart, it bounced off of there perfect. That's where that gap is right here. And as soon as the market came down to it, it bounced right back up. The gap was from way back here. But when the market finally came back down to it, it was around 8 something in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, well, 9:05 in the morning, 8 and 9 o'clock. It actually did it twice. Ooh, my chart's looking crazy. Why is my 5-minute chart off like that? There's a problem with playback. Sometimes it don't be playing fair.
What if you hit F at the top?
Well, yeah, but my swing lows and everything look weird. Let me see. I mean, that shouldn't cause it, but
Oh wow.
yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. It's doing okay. That's weird, but it's probably because I'm on playback. The indicators. There we go. Fix that. All right, but as I say, I'll show you that gap bounce, and that's how you can make money pre-market also. So when it comes to gaps, you don't necessarily have to wait for the market to open. If you see a gap and the market hasn't opened yet and it's going down there, you can make money pre-market. A lot of people do. Mrs. M, don't you make pretty good money pre-market? And even though that move looked real small, this was a big move, and it's not even 10:30 yet. You could have took that at around 9 o'clock. It happened around 9 o'clock. So from 6-9 was it 669 all the way up. This is if you just count this one candle, it went from 669 all the way to 702. Let's see how much that was. Going from 669 minus 702. That was 33 ticks. So 33 ticks, 33 points. There's 4 ticks every point. So 33 times 4. That was 132 tick movement. You times that by $5 a tick, that was $660. You could have made pre-market within a 5-minute candle. This one candle, when it came down to that gap, it bounced right back up. You could have got out as soon as it got up there. You could have got up at any point. You could have got out. That was $660 by 9 o'clock, by 9:05, and it actually went up a little higher than that, and then it started coming back down. That's when it kind of leveled off. But you could have made your money pre-market $600 and been done, or kept it simple. If your goal is 50 to 100, you could have got 50 to 100 off that one pre-market play and been done. You don't have to be in this market for hours on end. Practice. I'd rather you practice a lot. But as far as making money, you could just get in here, get a quick bag, and enjoy the rest of your day. And practice a little bit, but you don't have to be here long. But you can be patient if you have certain levels that you marked up. Just be patient and wait for the market to get near those areas so you can make money. But I always mark off everything because you never know when it's going to happen. That 4-hour level was from, what date is this? It was created on the 10th. It was created on the 10th, and by the next day, the 11th, it came down to it and bounced perfect. So if you would have had that marked off, you would have made money in the morning. But yeah, there's money to be made all day. Every time the market moves, it's not by luck, it's not random. It's moving for a reason. Our job is to find what reason it moves and find a way to make money from the movement. We know all the news channels. If the market is moving real slow, we like news because news is going to make it jump a little bit so we can start making some more money. The market makers, they do that on purpose. There's a reason why they do that. All right, so we marked up that chart. Let me highlight this one. I like to change the color because anything I mark off on a 4-hour, I make it brown. That way I know if I see it on my 5-minute, I already know it's a 4-hour level. I don't have to keep going back and forth from a 5-minute, a 1-hour, a 4-hour chart to see what it was. It's marked off by the color. I know exactly what it is. Now, when I do my zones, I normally change the color of my zones. So basically today we're learning about zoning. It's just another way of making money. That's all. Like this one right here, this long wick. On a 4 hour, I will probably zone that off. I will put a zone right there as well. Because even though it might bounce at the swing high, it can still bounce anywhere in between that. A little more advanced strategy. All right, and then I go down to the 1 hour, and I do the same thing on a 1 hour. I might squeeze it together a little bit. All right, only two here. There's 3 here, but it's already been used up. But this right here, look at that, on the 1 hour, is about 4 of them in a row. So I'm going to mark off that very first one. F6. And once again, you can hover over it, and you can see the exact open of it, which is 7850. It is 78.5. Because you want to be accurate. So there's a triple threat right there. It doesn't have much of a wick, so it's not really a lot to zone on that one. So what you're doing is basically if the market comes back up here, you're looking for a sell. Now, just because that's a triple threat, it does not mean as soon as the market get to it, it's going to automatically fall. So I like to see what the candlestick does when it gets there. So if it gets to that yellow line and you see that it taps it a little bit, it doesn't just go straight through it. That's when I feel comfortable actually taking the trade. All right, because I can show you levels, but if I don't show you what to look for to take the trade, it's still not going to help you that much. That's one of the things that I look for. I wait for it to get to that level, and then I wait to see what the candlestick does around that level. If it taps it a couple times, but it doesn't go through it, then I'm willing to take that sell. If it goes through it and it closes, meaning like this right here is a closure right here. So the candle went above it, that green candle closed, now it closed above that level. If it closes above the level, I'm not taking a short. If it closes above the level, a lot of times I'll look for a long. A lot of times I will look for, excuse me, I will look for a long if it closes above it. But that's not this level. The level's all the way up here. I was just showing you what it looks like if it closed above it. But that doesn't count. So with this level right here, since it started right here, we're waiting to see what happens later on that day. So it goes down, and we're seeing if it comes back up here, I'm waiting to take a trade here. That line that I told you about yesterday, the 1705, that's that orange line right there. I mean 1605, which is the LIS. I have my LIS marked orange. That is a very strong level. And the fact that the overnight high and that 405 candle or 1605 candle is right next to each other, I would definitely look for a sell when it comes up here. It may not be a big sell, but I would still look to make 50 to 100 bucks.
What did you call that? Can you explain that? You said LIX?
Yeah, we call it LIS. It's
List.
just
Okay. I thought you
it's
said,
just
okay, I got you.
the 405 from the previous day, or 16. I keep saying 405, 1605. I don't want y'all looking at 405 in the morning.
And you saying it's okay, wait a minute. I know what the LIS is, but you're basing it off what time frame?
The 1605 candle of the previous day.
Okay.
Like I have it marked up here. I have it marked right here, 1605, closure. So 1605 right there.
Okay.
And it's usually a strong level for the next day, the open of the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wouldn't take that trade pre-market. The LIS, I will actually wait for the open before I use that level.
Even if it's been touched already?
Yeah, because the 405 is good for the open of the next day, after the open of the next day.
Okay.
And the reason for that, the reason why that 405 is a strong level, because the market makers, the people that trade for like Goldman Sachs, the big dogs that trade millions of dollars, they're off work at 4 o'clock. So since the big dogs don't work past 4, that 405 is a strong level because when it closed, that's the close of their day. So that's why that's a strong level. Because the people that make the market go up and down, they get off at 4 o'clock p.m.
Mr. H,
Yep.
I think I got a little feedback. How can I get out of me and my cousin sitting over here? He got his computer on, I got mine on, but I'm getting feedback.
You have to turn the mic off of one of them or the speaker. You just put one of them on mute, and you should be able to. Should be just fine. Why did I take the 5 minute to take trades? Now you can take trades off the 1 minute. For me, the 1 minute is just the 1 minute moves way too fast on NQ. So like if I trade ES, I'll take trades off the 1 minute on the ES because the ES moves a lot slower than NASDAQ. So it's really preference. Some people do like taking it off the 1 minute, but some people don't take trades unless it's a 15-minute chart. So where you take your trades at, that is up to you. What you feel more comfortable with. But I just use the 5 minute because it moves fast enough. Now I do have a 1 minute chart open. I always have a 1 minute chart open on the Nasdaq because what I look for is a doji candle. So on the 1 minute, if I see a doji on the 1 minute, I'll look at the 5 minute and I'm waiting for it to rip either up or down because a doji candle signifies a change of direction. So if I see a doji on a 1 minute, I'm looking for the 5 minutes to either shoot up or shoot down based on the where that doji is on a 1 minute. So that's how I use a 1 minute chart. But yes, you can take trades off of it as well.
I have a question about the chart setup. So you can't, okay, so this is like 3 questions. First question is you can't label the lines. I can't label it with the number.
Yeah, there's a way to label it. I don't do it, but let me see. It's literally one that says like where you can write on it.
If it's out there, okay, I can also YouTube
Text
it. If it,
right here.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
drawing
you
tool
can
text.
mark it that
Okay,
way. Yeah, I
okay,
just
and
use
then
colors.
okay, and then can you copy from chart to chart? Like I'm looking
Yes, you
at my
double click on it.
daily.
Yeah, you can double
Okay.
click on it, and it says
Mhm.
attach to. You can put attach to all, and it will
Okay.
attach to all your NQ charts.
Okay. Okay. I thought I had that because I'm not seeing those. Hold on. Do that one more time.
Oh yeah, if you double click on any line,
Mhm.
the very first option says attach to. You just make sure it says all charts.
Okay. So, okay. Wait.
And it should show on all. Once you hit apply, it'll apply that to all charts. You can also hit template, and you can save the template as default. So every line you put is automatically going to share to all your charts.
I did that, but those your like the PP and S1, I know what they're called, but they're not saving on. I don't see them
Oh
on
no,
my daily
those you
chart.
have to. Those are indicators. So you would have to put those indicators on each chart.
Okay.
So what the indicators, what I do, I save the template. So if you save the template, you can always go to any chart, put a template load, and you can load the template and will already have all those indicators on it. So when I trade, this is how my template looks when I trade. This is what my trade template looks like.
Okay. I need to get that set. Cause okay.
Is when I
All right.
trade, it looks a little bit different than you guys' charts because I use like anchored VWAP. I use different things to trade that I'll show you guys more down the road. Because anchor VWAP, you got to pay for this.
Okay, so I can't copy. Okay, so I need to
So this
get
is how my
that
chart
for,
normally is.
and I can just, I guess I can just ask you, or you can post it somewhere to get the ones for, um, like the PP, R1, S1, and all that.
Oh yeah, that's in the course as well.
Okay, okay. And then lastly, when you're doing the charts by minutes, like you did 100, 1044, how do you change that? Like I'm looking at it and it
Oh,
has minutes and all that, but it doesn't, how do you actually edit it?
just double click on any one of the candles, and you can
Uh-huh.
just type it in.
Oh,
Minute,
okay.
type it in. And days to load, you want to load, at least 100 days, so that you can look left to find more levels.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. H, since you are speaking about that, so like on the moving averages, like you got one up there?
This right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How do I put that on all charts?
Oh, if you save the whatever chart is on, you just go to template and you go to save as, and you save it whatever you want to save it as. So then you go to that chart, go to load, and then you just load that template, and it will show up on that chart.
It won't show up on so you're saying like whatever time frame I have it on,
Yep.
as long as I do it
Whatever
on
time frame you have it on, go to template and go to save as, or you can do save as default.
okay.
Because like I saved mine as default because I'm gonna use it every single chart.
Right, right. Okay.
Yep. So now, and also if you open up a new chart, since you saved it as default, it's automatically going to open with all that stuff on it.
Okay.
That way you don't have to put it on every screen every time you open up something new.
And where are all the indicators for Ninja Trader? Like if
So
you want,
you can right click on the screen and go to indicator.
okay. And
You
it
can pull up
has,
they got a whole bunch of free ones.
okay, okay, okay.
I
And
love the free
then,
ones.
like, one more question. Like when you click on the chart, like it has NASDAQ, why isn't, for the chart you want, you have NQ rather, I'm sorry, not NASDAQ, but it gives you a drop down of them. And so when you're clicking on S&P 500, why isn't the SPY or anything in there?
The S&P is SPY. The ES is SPY.
Okay, so when you click on it and it shows all those other, like go all the way down, I'm sorry, S&P 500?
Yeah.
Yeah, futures, but go to SP 500. What that you're saying?
These are the individual companies that are under S&P 500.
Right. So can't you just do, okay, so maybe I'm just, like, can't you just trade SPY?
The S&P is SPY or ES. It's called the ES.
But you can,
SPY
okay,
and
like,
ES is the same thing.
yeah, but you can trade it outside of ES, right?
If you want to trade individual stocks that's under there.
Right, but you can still trade SPY.
Yes.
Like, but it's not listed to
No, yes,
just,
because SPY is ES. They're the same thing. Just like NQ is NASDAQ. YM
okay,
is the Dow Jones.
but the SPY is cheaper, right? That's what I'm saying. So it's not as much when you're moving up or down. Like ES is what, 12.50 and the SPY
Yeah.
is like $1 or something, right? So you
Well,
can't pull,
that's because we're trading the futures price.
and
We're
that's
not,
all
we're not
ninja.
paying the current. We're not trading the current price. You're thinking about buying and selling S&P stocks. We're trading the futures market based on the direction if it goes up or down. So every
So
tick is the same price instead of if it goes higher, you got to pay more. If it goes lower, you got to pay less. We pay a set price because it's the future price of that stock market or
no,
that
no,
company.
I understand all that. I'm saying NinjaTrader, you can't like I can't just trade Apple.
No, no. If you had your own cash in NinjaTrader, you could. But
Okay.
under prop firms, they only allow you to trade the futures.
Okay. That's what I
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
We was gonna get to it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
We had to worry on like, okay, what do you ask? But yeah, but S&P and the ES is the same thing though.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
just thought it would you I was expecting like when I saw it because I was just playing around. I was like, okay, well, I'm thinking I can, pull it out, just play Nvidia, just play Spy, just play Apple if I wanted to, or Netflix, but you don't. This is the whole thing under the
yeah,
umbrella
yeah. We
of the
charge.
stock.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
was
We
trying
trade
to
with the
figure
big
out. It's
dogs.
like, why isn't it listed individually? Okay, but it's
Yeah,
different. Gotcha.
but but yeah, with more if you pay for like a different range of data, and with your own cash, there's a lot you could do with NinjaTrader.
Okay.
Yeah. In micros, here's all your micros, even Bitcoin micro. So you can trade Bitcoin micro.
Mr. H,
Yep.
since yesterday, I haven't been able to do a trade because in my chart in NinjaTrader on the bottom right, it says bar timer disabled since the current time is outside section time or chart end date. How do I fix that?
Well, you won't be able to fix that until the market opens.
But yesterday the market was open, right?
What time? What time was it?
I think it was about like 3 p.m. and then I got on at 9 p.m. and it's still the same.
9 p.m. The market closes at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays.
Okay. So when I got on it at 3 p.m., it should have been open, right?
Yeah, well, you're out behind, right?
Yeah, I'm an hour behind. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean at 4 o'clock it should have still been open.
Yeah, that's why I'm like I don't know how to fix it. Like it
You
says
could,
here.
if you right click and go to indicators, you could just at the bottom you could just remove bar timer and then add it back. It probably just need to be reset. Like I just reset it, my swings. I just reset my swing levels because they were off for the
So
playback. So you just
how do I
usually remove bar timer and add it back.
how do you remove? Oh, okay, remove here.
Yep,
Remove
just hit on remove and then up
bar.
top you can go right back to bar timer. It's all alphabetical order. And you just
Okay.
double click it back because bar timer does just that and lets you know when it's about to close and when it's about to open.
And how do I add it back in the right corner
Just
when
double
I
click
have it
on it.
up?
Just double click on bar timer, hit apply.
And once I hit apply, it should be in the bottom right, right?
Yep, just hit OK.
Okay. Bar turn.
And being that the market's open, it probably won't show anything yet.
Okay. So tomorrow is gonna open, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. H, how did you know that your swing highs was off?
Oh, because they were
Or
in areas where there was no candles. They were just random places.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just removed them and put them back on there. And this was what happened was what was that? What was the 11th? Thursday, Tuesday? That's when the market was just shooting up as soon as it opened. So when the market does stuff like this, I look for pullbacks. I wait for the pullback and I will buy the market. But you can also wait since it's going up so fast. This area right here, you got two levels. I will wait to see what happens when it goes up there, and I will place a sell at the right time. But you just have to trust your levels. So the hourly, Move this level. And even when you're practicing, you still want to pull up the news from that day, because you don't want to be practicing and you pull up the news and you get your charts all messed up, or you get hit hard with a trade because you didn't check what the news happened that day. So that day it was news at 10 o'clock. Powell spoke, actually. So if you're practicing for Tuesday the 11th, you want to make sure that you're not in a practice trade around 10 o'clock, because on that day around 10 o'clock, Jerome Powell was speaking.
So you don't click on what Powell be saying. You just notice that envelope is red.
Yep, red and orange folders. And then on US.Econo Day, you look for red or green stars. Yeah, I don't really care what he's talking about. As long as I know when he's talking, I am not in the market. Because Powell, he be over there snitching. But the cool thing about this, if you want to know more information about it, you can just click that folder and it will tell you what he was talking about. Due to testify semi-annual monetary policy reports before the Senate Banking Committee. It tells you all the information. Fed is not inclined to cut rates. You get all the information in there. They even tell you why we should care. And it says they're often used to drop subtle clues. They tell you right there. When he talks, he's going to drop subtle clues regarding the future monetary policy. So that's why when he talks, the market starts going crazy sometimes, because he's dropping clues to his buddies so they know how to make billions. We're not on his buddy list, so we don't trade that time. But trust me, if you think we can make a lot of money, there's people making billions. we just in here trying to get a little something. When market levels, does the wick matter? Yes, the wick does matter on certain levels. So if you're marking off your gap, the fair value gaps, you do count the wicks. If you're marking off the triple threat, you don't mark the wick. You just mark the open. Overnight high and the overnight low, you use the wicks. So basically, the only one you don't use the wicks is the triple threat. Oh, no problem. But when you're trading, the wicks definitely matter, because those wicks tell you where buyers and sellers are. Oh yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go over bot information and the purpose of the two license. So the bot that I've been using, I've been testing out, that's been working really well. When you purchase the bot, it does come with two license. What that means is, like, since I have the bot, I use a license from my NinjaTrader under my LLC. I can also open up another NinjaTrader, a completely different Apex account. It just has to be a different business or a different name and a different address. You can't use the same address, so you can use a virtual address. So with two licenses, you can essentially have two separate NinjaTraders. You can have 10 accounts over here, 10 accounts over there. You can have 20 and 20. However, there are two separate entities, but because you have two licenses, you can run the bot on both of them. You can run the bot over here under your business name. You can run the bot under your personal name. Or like I did, I gave a license to my stepfather. I gave him one of my licenses, and I have a license. And then you could give it to your cousin, your uncle, sister. You got 2 licenses. I talked to the guy who developed the bot, and he said he will always give 2 licenses. And I was like, well, okay. I didn't argue with him. I was like, cool, because that's rare. People that develop bots don't give you 2 for 1. It's basically 2 for 1. But you can in the course. Where's the video at? All right, in the teachable course, there's a section in there. Where is it? They changed the site around. I have to find stuff myself. All right, so in the course, if you scroll down where it says Wealth and Health Corner, I'm going to be adding a lot more to this section, but I don't want to raise the price just yet, because once I start adding this stuff down here, I'm going to have to go up in price. But it says Controllers Ltd, Business Structuring. These guys right here, they structured Apex. This is the company that structured Apex's business. But they can structure, if you want to get an actual business structure, they can structure your business with your trust and everything to where you own nothing but control everything. They can give you they can register your business out of Nevada, because there's no state taxes in Nevada. And the cool thing about having a business out of Nevada, you have to visit Nevada once a year. So you can go to Vegas every year as a write-off. Oh, you got a bot Thursday? Yeah. Yes, you can change the levels when it's enabled. I usually don't, but if you have more questions about that, the Discord group is the best place, because those guys, they run this bot through the ringer. They test out every inch of this thing. That's where I go as well. Stefan is one of the dudes in there that showed me the bot. Stefan also works for Controllers Ltd. So not only can he help you with the bot, he can help you set up your family trust and structure your business the way a business should be structured. Because most of us know, get an LLC, bop, you're done. They structure it to where, is way better. And
Hey,
when it structures over 200 write-offs.
William?
Yep.
I was just wondering, is there any videos or anything actually showing you how to use the bot?
Yeah, he's working on those now, but I'll record some videos for you guys as well.
Well,
He's working on them too.
I had a situation on Thursday when I was testing it, that the bot would go and it would go up and then it fall back down. And as soon as it fall down, then it would lose money. And I was like, why is it just kept going up just a little bit, and then it would fall and then it would lose money. And I wasn't sure if I was doing anything, if I was doing it right or not, but something I definitely have to take a look at.
Yeah, that's why I was like, test it out for a little bit, because the market does what the market does, right?
Yes.
When you're using the bot, you can choose if you wanted to go both, meaning it's gonna get into buys and sells at the same time. If the market is trending in one direction, you want to change where it says both. You want to change that to what the direction the market is moving, long or short.
I did that. I actually did that. I checked both to see how it would work, and it actually had, the indicators on top and indicators on the bottom, and then it would actually go up and then fall down, and then as soon as it fell, it hit that indicator, and then it went back up, and then it would lose it. So I don't know if my perimeters were really tight to where it was, fluctuating so much that it just hit. And that's what I was kind of concerned about, because I wasn't sure if I was doing something, because even when it was going on an uptrend and then I would move it up on the uptrend to make more money, and as it was going up, it didn't hit it. So when it came back down, that's when it lost. And I was like, okay, maybe there's something that I'm doing wrong. But yeah,
Well,
video would help.
did you have the profit and shut off set?
Yes.
Yeah, so the market changes, right? There's no way to guarantee that it's going to make money every time. So what I do, I have where my profit is, I have my profit at like maybe $100 to $200.
Yes.
And once it gets to $100, it shuts off. I also,
Yeah.
when you're shut off, the loss shut off, you also want to give yourself room. You don't want that loss shut off to be too close. So if you're trying to make 100,
400.
huh?
I had it at 400. 100, 400.
Yeah. And did you have how many? Did you have like one contract? You just have to really play around with these numbers. It's really no way to say like this is the setting that work best. It's just you got to play around with those numbers, test it out, and see which ones work best how you trade.
Okay.
Because as I said, when I use it right at the 9:30 open, and if I see the candle going back and forth, the 5-minute candle going back and forth, I put it on both. And these are normally my same settings every day, but I put it on both because it's going to make money whether it goes up or down. Once it hits my 200, it shuts off, and then I go to a whole nother account and do it again. But if this, like today, that 9:30 candle was just going up, I would have switched this to long, and then I would have clicked the button because when it pulls down, it puts you in a trade, and then it goes up and makes you money. When it comes back down, it puts you in a trade, and then it goes up because that candle was mostly moving up.
Okay.
But if the candle is indecisive and is going up and down, I'm going to put it on both.
Yeah.
But this big old green one, I would have put that on long, and every time it dipped down a little bit, I got into a trade. It goes up, makes me money. So that's why I was like, you got to have a little understanding about the market for the bot to work the best. And so
Right.
I that's how I determine if I want to do long, short, or both. Is what that 9:30 candle is doing.
Okay. So on the Discord itself, on the Discord for them, can we message them? Is that against the rules or anything as far as
It's his Discord. He built it. So
Okay.
if he got it to where you can ask questions, ask all the questions in the world. You paid for something. Hey, look, ask all the questions. You might be able to see the message that me and him have back and forth.
Well, I'm just talking about a separate, like an individual person that was on there. That's what I was asking for.
Yeah. So I will go to tech support. A lot of people are in there asking them questions. You can go to general. A lot of people are like Stefan. That's my friend that put me onto this. That showed me this one. He's really good with answering questions, and he's
Okay.
West Coast.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. So like he's really good with this stuff. You have your features, so you can request certain features on there that you think will help, and you have testimonials. And in testimonials, a lot of people do give their settings too. So you can ask these people like what settings are they running. Like he has some of his settings right here. Both one trade, 16, -10, 4 max entries, and that's what he did. So yeah, but just really jump into here because as I said, they can answer a lot more than I can because I'm with you guys. I'm testing it out and figuring it out as well. But I like it since I've been using it. It works really well, and I mostly use it to get my evals passed. Now, when I use it on my PAs, I only use it in micros on my PAs because I'm very protective over my PAs. But even in micros, I have it for like $50, like $25 to $50. So every time I click that button, I'm trying to get $25 to $50 and go and shut it off. Because if I could do $50 a day, that's $1,000 a month per account. And then I manually trade. Oh yeah, and the payment plan. Yeah, he's working on that. He's working on the payment plan. He was trying to go through Klarna directly. So I showed him that he could go through Stripe. And Stripe, if you sign up to a Stripe account, it's just like PayPal, but it's just a POS, and they allow you to use Klarna and Afterpay. So That's what I want him to do because it just makes it easier to get it. Because let's say it works really well. All right. And as far as the health is concerned, what a lot of people that trade do, if you trade under your business, you can pay yourself a salary. Find out what the healthcare.gov cutoff is for the discount, and pay yourself that salary for that discounted rate. Because as an LLC, you can still pay everything you need to pay through your business as well, as far as your bills and stuff like that. But you can do it like that until you start making the kind of money that you want to make, and then of course you're going to have to start paying the regular price for healthcare. But if you're just now starting out and you want to leave your job, pay yourself a salary that allows you to get healthcare at a discounted rate. And then once you start making more money, then you could give yourself a raise. That's how I did it, at least. And always have like I will always talk to somebody like a financial advisor or a CPA lawyer that will get a little more detail for you. Because I spoke to my CPA lawyer about that stuff, so he showed me how to, get certain things done. Also, Controllers Ltd, Stefan and those guys, that's what they do. They structure businesses and make sure you are protected in everything you do. And what they do extends far beyond just trading. Like Stefan helped me write off the trip to Japan that we're taking this summer. He was like, before you go on a trip, you set up certain things, that way when you leave, you can write that off at the end of the year. He said you can't go on a trip then try to write it off. So they're very helpful. They'll get you right. I don't know how much they charge though. They charge based on what you need done. So since I already had like 2 or 3 LLCs and I just needed to kind of structure them a lot better and put them under a trust, I paid a little bit more than if you just have like one LLC and you're trying to get a trust done with it. Yeah, no problem, of course. And if you guys want, if you want the phone number or the information to my CPA lawyer to do your taxes, when you start trading, please don't use was it like TurboTax? Don't use a little, when you see somebody on the side of the street flipping a sign talking about come here to get the taxes done. When you're trading as a business, you need to go to a CPA lawyer. Okay, no more H&R Block. Because H&R Block, they're going to give you the basic business write-offs. They're not going to go in a deep dive and be like, all right, you can write this off, write that off. Because there's over 200 write-offs you get by being a trader under prop firms, whatever. There's over 200 write-offs that you can get. So go to a CPA lawyer and talk to them about those write-offs. How many LLCs for the trust? I mean, you can have as many as you want, really. So I have a trust. I have a holding company. So I have my holding company, and then I have 2 or 3 companies under my holding company. That way, any money that I make outside, doing my marketing, LLCs and trading, all that money is funneled to my holding company. So my LLCs themselves only have so much money in those accounts. I funnel everything to my holding company, which is the trust. So, it's all different types of ways of legally protecting yourself to where, taxes and all that other stuff are a lot less than normal. That's why when you hear presidents and everything talking about we're going to tax the rich, no, they're not. The rich is like, sure, whatever. Because they got so many havens, legal havens. Yeah, it's not going to do anything to them. They just tell us that to make us feel better. Because they be tearing us up with taxes. At what point of the trading journey should we start thinking about CPA? This year. this year. You didn't already pay for a course. You didn't already pay for a Apex account. You might have paid for a VPS. You might have paid for a screen. Like me, I have a little portable screen over here. Anything you spend to learn about trading, anything you spend, if you pay Controllers Ltd to structure your business, all that is a write-off. All right. If you don't necessarily have the money to register your LLC, I already looked it up. You can just get your tax ID. Go to socialsecurity.gov, get your tax ID or EIN, and you can just use your EIN. But once you start your business, you connect your business to that EIN. All right. But you can start using your EIN now until you get the money so you can start your business. Because the EIN is free. So yeah, so they actually prefer you get the EIN first, get all your stuff organized, then start your register your company and add it to that EIN. Your EIN is what you use to write it off. The business is just the entity behind it. So I think from my understanding, if you have just an EIN, you are a sole proprietor or doing business as. But you want to register an LLC because that way you can designate it with like S corp, C corp, stuff like that, and get even more write-offs. Okay, cool. Yeah, you already registered in Virginia. Yeah, you're good. But as long as so when you get an eval pass, so when you pass an eval, they will ask you for either your tax ID or your social security number. So on Apex, you want to type in your EIN. If you don't have an EIN, you don't have a business yet, go to socialsecurity.gov, go ahead and get your EIN, and then fill out that information with Apex when you pass your pass your evaluation. And you can use that same EIN for every eval you pass. And then that way you have time to go ahead and register your business, open up your business bank account, because you definitely want to have a business bank account before you get your first withdrawal. And Chris, you're probably close to your withdrawal. So you have time to set up your banking, because when you get your first withdrawal, you want that to go to your business account, not your personal. All right, send that to your business account and pay yourself a salary. Okay, cool. Yeah, yep. You have it. Always provide your EIN. That way you're not operating under your social security number. And I got other ways of building your business credit also. So gas cards are one of the easiest ways to build your business credit, because they will approve you a gas card a lot faster than a major credit card, and you can use your own social as a co-signer for your business, and you will start building your business credit. You can open up a Duns and Bradstreet account. So Duns and Bradstreet is like TransUnion for business credit. You know what I'm saying? Build that business credit. Yep, just like a Shell card, stuff like that. And make sure you pay it off, because you're building your business credit. And once you start building that business credit, you open the door for loans and everything. That's where the real money starts coming in at. Even rich people use other people's money to make more money. Don't be afraid of them loans. Once you start making money in this market, you can pay them loans off. You'll be fine. We are not in this market to be scared at all. Because y'all know what they say: scared money don't make any money. So make sure y'all get those taxes done the right way. Also, affiliate, for those that don't know, the course does have an affiliate program. Since you guys are in the course, if you know anyone that's interested in joining and learning how to trade, you can sign up as an affiliate. You send them your affiliate code, you will get 15% of that sale. So everybody, if you got 30 people that want to buy the course, you can send them your link and you will make 15% times 30 people. Okay. So as I add more and more to the course, you guys are already here. You're not going to be charged any more money, because I have a whole section on how to get business loans, right? with little credit in your business. Once I start adding that stuff, the course will go up in value. I will have to charge a little bit more, not too crazy, but I will be charging more. But you guys are locked in. It's not going to be any cost to you. But as an affiliate, if the course is $1,000, it won't be. But if it's $1,000 and you're getting 15% of that, that's 150 in your pocket. You know, so it's an affiliate program. That way, you know, I like to spread the wealth to other people. You know, and y'all know proceeds go to St. Jude as well. Some of the proceeds go to St. Jude. So it's all about building wealth and helping people make money by making money. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn how to make money, learn how to give ourselves a raise, learn how to quit our jobs. I mean, whichever route you want to take, I'm here to facilitate that. Because I'm all for quitting y'all jobs, really. Look, we didn't work long enough.
Coach, can
Hey,
you touch?
everybody got me listed as
Oh.
ADMIN.
Hold on 1 second, Martin. Go ahead, Ms. Cotton.
So can you touch for the eval accounts? What's the benefit of, okay, they have 25, 50 and on up.
Mhm.
If you have 10, 20, 25s, what's the benefit of getting 50s or up? Because if you, like, you know, you do the analogy, if you make 50 in all of those, you're good and you can use multiple accounts. So why would you need to keep going up?
You don't need to keep going up. But the value in that is, like, I have a 250K account, right? In order for me to lose that 250K account, I have to lose over $6,000 versus a 25K account. Once you lose that 1,500, it's gone. So with the bigger accounts, the better you get at trading, you will want to get those bigger accounts because you could then do more contracts. So with my 250K account, I do on average 5 to 8 contracts, right? Let's do the math. I'll show you the math will do a lot.
So you're saying if I made $3,000 on my 25K account, my threshold is still only $1,500 that I can lose?
No.
Oh,
No. Once you on a 25K account, once you make 1,600, you have to go all the way down from 26.6 all the way down to 25,100 to lose that account. So once you get to the point where you can withdraw money, you have to lose all that money all the way down to 25,100, and it will stay there.
Oh, okay. So you can't, like, okay, so whatever I'm making, I still got to stay at 25K. Always.
Yeah. You can't go below 25,100.
Okay.
So that's why I always tell people to build at least a $3,000 cushion. That way, if you lose $3,000, you're not hurting. You're like, okay, don't lose. You're not going to lose. Don't lose 3,000. But like if you take out $2,000, now you're well below that $3,000 cushion. I'm gonna need you to not take too much money out until you build it up. So what I did, once I got a $3,000 cushion, I only took out 500 because I knew I'm gonna make $1,000. So I took out at least 500 every month because I made 1,000. So I'll take out half of what I make. So
But
my account is always getting bigger and bigger every month because I only take out half of what I make.
okay, and so, but are you still limited to just 4 contracts on the 25K?
Yep, that's why
Always?
that's why once you get better, you're gonna want to get the bigger accounts because you can do more contracts.
Okay.
Right now, 25. I had about 5 or 6 25K accounts, and before I even got a 50.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was doing just fine with those 25s. You hear me?
I'm in the 25. I just didn't know the logic behind, like, why would you keep going up if you could just make, if I had 20 25s and I made 50, I don't care. I mean, I do and I don't, I guess.
Oh,
Right.
and that's the thing. You're gonna start making way more than $50.
Right.
And it's way easier with the bigger size accounts.
Okay, for your law. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Because it's 10 ticks to make $50, right?
Right.
But if you could do 8 contracts, so you do 8 contracts times that 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
You made 400 in the same amount of movement, the same movement, that little 10 ticks, 50. When you have a 250K account and you're doing 8 contracts, that same movement is $400.
Right.
So that's why you'll eventually start wanting the bigger accounts because you don't have to trade nearly as much to make double, triple, quadruple the money.
Okay. Thanks.
So like I'm in the process now of liquidating all my 25s. So as soon as I get a 250 approved or 300 approved, I will do a withdrawal of all the money out that 25 because you can only have 20 accounts. So once I have my
Okay.
20 accounts, I'm going to start replacing the little 25s with 250s.
And you just close your 25. Okay.
Yeah, you can just take out all the money and be like, all right, get rid of it.
Okay.
And I'm trying to do it before I withdraw 25K from that account, because once you withdraw 25,000, that's when they start getting 10% of your profit. So
Mm.
as soon as I get to the point where I can take out, where I'm taking out 25,000, I'm just gonna liquidate it. Like, you're not gonna get 10% of my money. They don't know that yet, but you know. So that's why I'm in a rush to get to 20 accounts, because a couple of them I'm almost at the point where I did take out up almost 25K. So before I hit that 25K mark, I'm gonna liquidate them things.
So you can have 20 up to 20 accounts in various stages. You can have them all, whatever, the highest level or in between until you
Yep.
just get it what you want. Okay.
I want to get to the point where I have all 250s and 300Ks. All 20 of them are 250 to 300.
But what are their monthly? I don't, because I haven't. I get even with the price, they're still more expensive than the 25, right?
Somewhat. If I bought all my bigger accounts when Apex has a sale, they'll
Mm-hmm.
lower the price of a 250 to $50 a month
Okay.
until you pass it. Whereas a 25 is $30 a month until you pass it. So it's $20 more, but it's a $250,000 account.
Right. Well, hell,
But
you just
it's no
start
rush.
there.
I mean, as I
I
said,
mean,
I was tearing them 25Ks up for a while. I was getting my little 50 to 100 a day with no problem. Get your money and get up out of there.
that's my hardest part.
Yeah, you're getting up out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I lost 6 PAs in one day before.
Mm.
So that's why I teach. I'm like, look, I've been there, guys. I know where you're coming from. But it just takes a little bit of strength to be like, man, I got to go. We're creating ATM strategies. Okay, yeah. Hey, Ferg, if you want help with the ATM strategies, I can help you with that. Yeah, I can help you with the ATM strategies. And that's another thing, guys. These are all ATM strategies. I have an ATM strategy for depending on what kind of day the market is. If it's a trending day, if it's a choppy day. Like if it's a choppy day, I'm literally just trying to get 50 to $100 per trade. If it's a trending day, I don't even put a target on there. I have a stop loss, but I don't have a target. So if it's trending to the upside, I want all the smoke. Give me all the money until it comes back and knock me out. So play around with those ATM strategies and test them out. I put a couple of them. I think I put one or two of them in the Discord, but I'll start putting a couple of these other ones in there as well. And then it says you go live, or either go live in sim, or you do a playback and just test out those ATM strategies and see which ones you like the best. Yeah, because this day the market wasn't doing much at all. Once they had that big run to the top, it didn't do much. Like the news didn't even do that much. All right. Do we have any other questions? Because we are at an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, my last question, sorry. For the payment plan for the buy, is he gonna have it for this weekend for the sale? Because I would like to get it. And that's it.
Matter of fact,
That's my
I can
last,
ask him right now.
that's my last question.
No reason
And if
to.
he takes some time, you can just email me or something. I don't want to hold everybody up.
Oh, yeah. Anybody got any other questions? Let me move so I can see my screen.
You got some free time later on this evening or tomorrow?
I definitely will tomorrow. I have a Zoom with a new student today. Just try to help him get stuff set up.
Okay, give me a time for tomorrow.
Let's see.
How about noon?
12 tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm putting it on here right now. Yeah, I don't have nothing on there right now. Oh yeah, I got you locked in.
Okay, thank you.
And I sent him that message to see, and he normally answers pretty fast, to see how it's going, because I showed him how to get the setup so that he can do monthly payments, because this week it is 1,800 when it's normally
Right.
25. So
Do you want me to post my email? You can just get back to me, or you can text me, whatever.
I have your email. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I have your email. So
Thanks.
yeah, as soon as he answers me, I'll shoot you a message. As I said, yeah, this week definitely. And all I did was ask. I just asked him like, when's the next sale? He was like, let's do it this weekend. How that sound? I was like, cool then. Like whatever. So yeah, I just texted him see an update on how he was with the payment plan. So hopefully he says it's ready to go and it's up and running.
Cool. Thanks. All right. I'm doing my homework.
All
Plot
right.
these charts.
Of course. As I said, if you have any questions, just shoot me a message. I'll get to it.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right.
See you guys.
Anybody else? Anybody else have any questions before we roll out? All right.
I'm good.
You good? All right, cool. All right. Well, I hope this helped everybody out. As I said, if you have any questions that you want to go over on Saturday sessions, just shoot me a message and be like, hey, this weekend, can we go over this? That way it gives me some time to get all the information together for you. If I don't know something, I can at least find out for you before Saturday happens. All right.
Okay,
All right, y'all. Well, enjoy
signing
the
out.
rest of your weekend.
Thanks.
And this one is recorded, so as long as it mixes down, I will put this one in the Discord today. All right, well, see you guys later.